Welcome to week 3, day number 15 of the Torian Pro prep. We'll start today's session with a lifting piece, 5 sets, 2 minutes rest between, 21 calorie ski into 7 front squats with 65 to 70% of 1 rep max. So I went with 70%, which is 98 kilos. And also the weight is to be taken from the floor. So you do it clean for your first rep. And if you've been following along for the last few Monday sessions, the front squats have been a progression, starting week 1 with the rower into front squats. Week 2 was front squats into the bike erg. And then this week we're doing ski erg into front squats. The weight's getting slightly heavier each week. This one, 98 kilos, 70% of the 1 rep max for 7 reps was definitely a lot mentally and physically easier for me to get through. The last 2 weeks with the higher reps each set have been pretty tough, so I was looking forward to doing a few less reps, even with just a slight increase in the weight. So I started off with 21 cals in just over a minute. Was a bit unsure how much it would affect the front squats here, knowing that the ski erg places a little bit of fatigue and work on the abs with the pull down, and then the abs working hard to brace in the front squat. I was using this first one to kind of just test the waters a bit with the pacing, but around a minute for the ski was the aim for each set, and then to take just a quick breath or two before picking up the barbell, not taking too long to get into it, and then just trying to hold on. And if the squats slow down, at least just doing them unbroken was the aim. And finishing up my last set here, held pretty consistent sets. It felt the effort on each of them was very similar. Did get a little bit harder just as the fatigue plays a role in the later sets, but overall happy enough with that piece. Workout number 1 for this session, 2 sets, 3-minute rest between, 30 calorie echo bike, 200 foot sandbag bear hug carry with a 200 pound / 91 kilo bag, 10 ring muscle ups, 10 bar muscle ups, 200 foot sandbag carry, and a 30 cal echo bike. This one I think is a very typical semi-final level workout, something that we may see for 1 round through. So I wanted to use this first set to kind of test out how I would approach it if it was 1 round, but still saving a little bit of effort, not fully sending the echo bike at the end, knowing that I had to do 2 sets for the training piece. But wanted to just aim to go unbroken on the carries and the gymnastics, at least in the first set, and then if I could do it in the second set, then push it. But my pace on the Echo bike I knew would fall off a little bit. The second set was pretty tough. This was a hard sort of workout. I do like these sort of workouts, but it was a little bit harder than I maybe first thought it would be. Whether or not it's just because of the two sets, and the second set and how I felt after was a bit rough. But the Echo bike at the start, I was able to do that within a minute and a half of the 30 calories, which was the aim. But in the second set, I couldn't hold that. I was about 15 seconds slower. And then the two Echo bikes to finish both took a similar time to the start of the second set. But overall, I was pretty happy with the times on this. I was about a minute 5 slower on the second set than the first one, and that purely just came from rest times and the pace on the Echo bike. Probably lost about 30 seconds total time on that, and then just bigger gaps, bigger breaks before picking up the sandbag and starting the gymnastics work. So the main takeaway from this piece was that the Echo bike just still needs a little bit of work, particularly holding on when I'm under fatigue to a higher pace. But knowing that my gymnastics and carrying, I can hold on and just grit that out. If I lose a little bit of time on the bike, at least if I'm making that up there, it evens out a little bit. However, I would like to be able to push the Echo bike just as hard as I can push the gymnastics work. So it's coming into the end of this now. 7 minutes 13 for my first round, then the 3 minute rest, and then finishing off here with 8 minutes 20. So little bit of a drop off, but this was for a total time of the 2 sets. So just over 18.5 minutes, which I was happy with, and made for this next part be a little bit tough. Every 5 minutes for 3 sets, 15, 12, 9 thrusters and chest to bar pull-ups. So just a Fran style of workout. I read this on paper earlier in the day and thought 3 sets, that's pretty manageable. I should be sweet with that. And the 15, 12, 9, few less reps than a 21, 15, 9. But I was really glad at this point in the session. Quite fatigued. That second workout took a bit out of me. The front squats took a lot out of me as well. So kind of just moved through this one just to get it done. First set, about 2.5 minutes, and then had a 30-second drop-off for the second and third set. They took about 3 minutes to get through. Still at least 2 minutes recovery between rounds or sets, which was enough time. However, my body was pretty cooked, and this was more about just getting the work done rather than putting up crazy scores and times. And this sort of workout, doing it fresh has a bit of a different stimulus for me. I could probably push small breaks, rep speed would be a little bit quicker, but sometimes you just have to do the work under fatigue and get used to doing that. In training particularly, you're not going to feel great every day, particularly when you're doing a big session or multiple workouts in the one session. Something's going to be a little bit hard to do at times, and you can't just use excuses or cop-outs around, too fatigued, so I'm not going to hit the stimulus. I knew that I could get through it and just move through this workout and give me some confidence knowing that I can do it under fatigue, so when I am fresh, that I would be able to attack this sort of a workout hard and, get a mental win for the day as opposed to a mental loss if you were to skip something like this just because you felt a bit tired or felt like you'd given enough already in the previous workouts. And to finish off today's session, we've got an accessory piece of 10 to 15 strict bar dips, 5 sets, 2 to 3 minute rest between. I started first set just body weight for 15 reps, and then did the rest of my sets with a little bit of added weight, 4 kilo kettlebell, and then I can't remember if I did it with an 8 or a 12 kilo kettlebell after that, but I'm just going to assume it was 8. I won't over assume, but hard to tell in the video exactly what weight the second kettlebell was, but definitely wasn't more than 12 kilos. Getting at least 12 reps per set, closer to 15 on most. Just stopping about 1 to 2 reps shy of failure, and then last set pushing a little bit harder to get whatever had left in the dip. Just a simple accessory to finish, just working on the dip strength, which is going to carry over to gymnastic work, ring muscle ups, bar muscle ups, barbell pressing. So yeah, not much more to it. Another Monday session in the books. See you for tomorrow's session.
Wow.